we are at 34.5%, and by end of this year, we should be targeting and meeting 35%. Now, are we able to drive women to come and be part of that networking? Are we able to drive and influence them to be part of those community? The social conditioning has to change, and it will take some time. And I'm really positive about changes that are happening. Many summits, many conclaves, we have been talking about diversity, inclusion and equity and all of that. Are the efforts sufficient? Yes, efforts are good enough. One of the testament, I would rather look into one of the aspect that I'm more comfortable and familiar is the women inclusion. I might not be the subject matter expert in the many other, diversity quotient that can be brought in. So whatever I am talking and presenting or sharing with you is all derived from the women inclusion point of it. We definitely see a great amount of improvement. A recent study by Grant Thornton, that's a tongue twister and I can't get it, and I hope I never get a job there because I can't pronounce their name properly. So it does say that India is catching up to be into the comparable status globally. We are at 34.5%, and by end of this year, we should be targeting and meeting 35%, which means we are doing something right. We are perhaps it is now the focus is on sustaining it. We have done it enough, but the focus is on sustaining it. And to me, this problem has always been a tri-party arrangement. For some reason, I always bring in three elements to it. Maybe the Pythagoras theorem is stuck so much into me, or I don't know if we are three sisters and the sibling bonding is so strong in me, the emotions of sisterhood is so strong in me. So I bring anytime and every time three aspects to it. So similarly to this as well, my personal notion is the three-party involvement. One of it is, of course, the organization and industry. There's enough measures and enough conversations that we are doing from the industry, fraternity, and from the organization standpoint. There are many policies that are being made more available for women to ensure at each level, because each level has a different challenge. At each level, it is different aspects that has to be considered. Perhaps equity that Madam was talking about is quite different at each level. So I'm sure there's enough efforts that is going on. Now, there might be differentiations between sectors. Now, technology and any heavy invested or the GCC part of it might see a better concentrated effort on all of these, while when it comes to the traditional sectors, it might be still to catch up. And it also depends on the maturity of the organization and at which level or what is more important for them. Barring all of that, if we are really inducing and inculcating the thought of ensuring that the aspects of what are the policies that will favor for women to flourish is enough concentrated, and that will slowly bring in that change, right? I mean, the social conditioning has to change and it will take some time. And I'm really positive about changes that are happening. Perhaps more and more summits such as these could talk about. And then I think what is also becoming important is the financial reporting is also capturing what are the efforts that we are driving towards women inclusion and diversity quotient and all of that. So all of this is pushing the organizations and all of it to take care. Now, when that is taken care, what is the other element that we will perhaps have to concentrate is the social conditioning that has to change. Has that enough changed? I had some colleagues in different engagements. I had colleagues who have been talking about, okay, looking at you or your team or a set of women here, we are going back home and treating our women in the family much differently. So are we able to induce that kind of a change into the social conditioning? It's easy said than done. we do have many male allies, but are we sufficient enough with that male allies? But can we also entrust there's some amount of ownership for all the male allies that we have to also influence at least 5 other men in their acquaintance to also become ally, because it isn't easy. That is a big change and a shift that is needed. How many of them will raise up to say, okay, you're also equally earning, so do I share the household? So there is enough policies that are coming up. One of my favorite is the parental leave or the caretaking leave, which is equally offered for both genders. But how many of men are coming forward to avail it? So these are a few changes that we will have to look at it if we have to sustain the efforts that we have put in. We have scaled the efforts, but then we need to sustain it. We've started, we've scaled, now we need to sustain it. Now, while that is going on, it is also important, the third and the most important element is, are women ready? Are they ready to take that shift? Are they ready to take that move and take it on them? It's okay to trade off on not having that perfection. It is okay to not have it all. It's okay to call and be vulnerable, saying, these are few things that I can't do. Right? I had my friend who were driving back this morning, and I was telling him, I'm running on some guilt trip for whatsoever reason. Even though I am talking about this, but I had this guilt trip because of a very recent incident that happened, and then she kind of reminded me, you keep saying that it's okay to trade off, it's okay, take it light. So we need such kind of reinforcement and endorsement to say that, these are the things. So what is needed out there is a lot of community building that has to happen. Now, are we able to drive women to come and be part of that networking? Are we able to drive and influence them to be part of those community? Therefore, influence them. Someone was asking me the other day that, how do I contribute? Where do you are so active and you're, recognizing all of these efforts that are going. How do I contribute? I don't have time. My kids are still young. I can afford, because my kids are a little old enough. They are in their teens. They would want to be left alone, so it's advantageous to me, while it wasn't for the other female acquaintance. So I had to just tell her that if that is the case, just be part of the tribe. Just be there. Let's make the tribe big enough that it can really, continue to sustain on itself. So it is important that all the men in the room, while you are all the allies, please ensure that you influence a few other male acquaintance to also be the allyship. We need more allyship, definitely. And women in the team, be part of the tribe. No matter which community that you endorse, be part of the tribe, be there. Be there to just give that emotional confidence for women who are taking a lead. Yes, perhaps some of us are a little more privileged to have the ecosystem in the family which is more accepted, and then being able to deliver. So again, people who are real more privileged continue to take the lead, and the people who are a little less advantageous in terms of having the ecosystem not being that favorable, be there, part of the tribe, and let the energy flow in. And with that, I will sum it up. Thank you so much.